Hey, welcome back. In this video we will be performing the fall work of shoot selection on this Japanese black pine that was decandled this spring. It was repotted first this spring and then decandled later on at the appropriate time, and now I will proceed to perform shot selection for next season. Before I get into that, I want to address an issue. I've seen many people that I follow in Facebook, people that I follow in podcasts, people that I follow in YouTube that work with bonsai, all of them claiming how much pressure 2020 has put on them and how much bonsai has helped keep them sane. And I would like to say that indeed bonsai and perhaps many other hobbies are what is keeping many of us mentally afloat in this very difficult year. So for all of those that are struggling in 2020 or otherwise with mental health or with issues in your life that may seem overpowering, hang in there. If you need to seek help. Don't keep things to yourself. And we'll get through this together. So stay strong. Now let's do some bonsai. So this tree was repotted this spring into this custom concrete slab, geometric slab that I made, and there is a video about it. It doesn't have any muck, it's only sphagnum moss. I will remove these remnants of fertilization that are not needed at this time, and maybe the moss will recover under it. And now it's the time for shoot selection. So first of all, there are areas where I did not decandle this spring, such as here, because my idea for this tree is to have it continue growing and being asymmetric. So we have the strong base here, which is a bit hidden behind this needles, but there is a strong base here that give support to this cliff hanging nature of this trunk. And then we have a multitude of shoots that are growing everywhere. This area here is extremely dense and needs some clarification. And then we have other areas where the shoots after decandling grew a lot. So we have 3, 4, here we have 4 shoots that grew a lot. Usually between 3 and 4 shoots from every position where we decandled. So we need to bring clarity to the design here. We need to balance the amount of needles so that next year growth is proportional, and set this tree up for next year's growth. Now I'm working on this tree now because it's in my cold greenhouse. So obviously a Japanese black pine cannot withstand the Canadian winters. So I couldn't have this tree here if I didn't have protection for it. and because it will not be in a frozen state, it still has time to reallocate resources to balance the hormones across the tree. And these trees, my greenhouse is still going around 8-7 degrees Celsius, which is perfect for maintenance of metabolic activity still, but it counts below 7 degrees counts for winter dormancy. So this tree is about to get into start counting for dormancy. Now first I will clean all these needles that are stuck in the middle. They're dead needles, and when I balance the needle count, I will not remove all the old needles. I will keep some and remove some. It's important to keep all the needles to maintain hormonal balance. So here we have shoots growing everywhere at the bottom. It's really a big mess here. I have to decide in which direction this area will go. There is some wire from the spring, but it's not biting yet. Well, here in this area it is biting a little bit, but perhaps not enough yet to warrant removal of the wire. Here on this junction we have what will become this lateral pad and the continuation of the trunk line. So this third pad, this third shoot here will be removed, so that we don't have the creation of inverse taper in that area. So here we go. The first, there is a small shoot here. Let me see if I can show it. There is a small shoot here, and then there is another one here and another one here. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 from the decandling, and here's the stub of the decandling. So here we go. One out. I will cut the stub away from this very flush so that it doesn't interfere on the growth. And then another one out, another one out, another one out, So right now I removed all but 2 shoots here. Now this tree has a lot of energy from the fall, with the accumulation with all the shoots, so it's important to balance the amount of needles to keep it to keep the new growth balance. Otherwise we will have areas that will grow excessively and others that will not. The idea is to keep some old needles as well as the new ones, and in some cases you may potentially remove some new needles as well, but the idea is to leave at least 8 to 12 pairs of needles that are balancing with respect to the area of least strength. Now the area of least strength is this one here, and these two branches at the bottom. This one here at the end, at the back, it is sort of a strange branch with coming as a V right here out. And I sent one to the back and one to the front, but for now it will stay. This branch here, I will remove it. It grew out of the crotch there. And now here in this area I have a number of branches growing from the inside of the curve, and that needs to be removed. To give some clarity to the trunk line. Before I do the plucking of needles to balance needle density, I will first clean all the areas that I feel that need to be cleaned, so that we evaluate properly which areas are the ones that define the lowest density. So before I remove anything, I may probably remove this, but I don't know, maybe not. I have here 1, 2, 3, 4. I will remove this one here for sure. There are so many shoots growing from this area, so I'll keep at least 2. Maybe this one, maybe this, I don't know. There are some smaller things here that for sure need to come out. Things coming from the bottom. There is some more clarity now here in this area. We have here the trunk coming like this, and this is a side branch, and this side branch has a number of shoots coming out still, these ones that are competing with this branch here, so I'll probably remove all of them. It was already starting to create inverse taper. my scissors are not as good as Ryan Neal's. So now here the question is, what should I keep? I could keep this little branch here. Let me bring this here and see. I could keep this little branch here. This is the front of the tree. I feel that this should grow, and when it does, eventually I'll remove this one. So here we have a shoot coming this way, this one here, and we have this one that could create a path here. So we will just create some clarity around that area. There's this little one here. Let me see if I can show it from below. There is this little one here that can be removed. That's it. And here there is another shoot that is not necessary. Now it's much more clearer. It's much clearer that we have this branch here that could be used, this or this one, and then something going up and perhaps around. So I will definitely remove this one here at the bottom. And now we don't have a structural flaw anymore here. We have two branches. Here we'll remove this one that is under. It's right under the wire actually. So right now we have this that could be brought here, and now next year I will let this grow, and that means that I'll probably remove this branch here because this would take over that area. Or well, for now I'll keep it, but in terms of balancing energy, we have this branch here. It still has 4 shoots. So I will keep, in this case here, I will keep these 2 strongest ones here that have a nice angle, and I'll remove these 2 here. We still have plenty of old second year needles here to remove. I will better clean the stub from the growth, and now here we have two lateral ones. Perfect. And this one here is a little bit at the bottom, so I'll put a little bit wire and make sure that this one is lateral, stays lateral, and this one's too. So the question is, where will that go? But now there is a lot more clarity to the design there. Now we're looking at the tree from the top. It's more or less the same view that I have. And here we have another junction that we clean. And let's remove those needles there. So we have a lot more clarity here in this area now. There were all these shoots. And here we have from the decandling stub, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Do I want to keep the strong one? Do I want to further develop this area, or do I want to keep them under control? And what angle, which ones should I keep to keep a right beautiful angle? In this case, I have growth here. I have growth underneath here. This one, on the other hand, already has a ramification, so I could try to move this branch a little bit. It's sort of an ugly branch though, because it has a T here where my hand is. There is a T, it's a T section. So although I have ramification here, if I plan to keep the one below, this one here is at the wrong place. So I will remove this one here. Right now we have space for this branch to grow, and we have space for this branch to grow here, and this one here and there. So the question is, which shoots should I keep here? I think the option is between these two, or those two, or these two here. Obviously this would create another T section if I keep them. And if I look at the tree from the front, well, let's leave this decision for a little while. Let's look at another section. This one here, we have two branches coming out of where the decandling happened, and we'll keep only one. And here we have 4, and we'll keep only one. So here I think it's fairly obvious to remove this very strong one here. And this lateral one here, because it's competing with this. And what's left is these two branches with very nice angle between them. I will just better clean the stub here. Okay, there is a tiny little bud here that I will also remove. I'll remove some bottom needles here. And here I will remove this top one. I'll clean the stub. Nice and clean. And remove some old needles here. What is this? Okay. Okay, so the decision that we needed to make was what to keep here, and I think I'll keep these two here. So remove that one. Remove this one. So this is a branch here. Very good. Remove some bottom needles there. So now that this is the result, I think I didn't leave any structural flaws. These are the weaker areas compared to the bottom here, to this one, and to this back branch here. So we will remove some old needles, but not all of them. Those in here I will leave in case this back buds somewhere there within those needles. And we will remove some needles from last year. We'll balance now the strength, and to do so I will cut second year needles to length. This is not trying to pretend that the tree has short needles. This is just a matter of balancing the strength. So this is balanced. This one here I will balance now, like this. And here I'll remove some from the bottom. When you approach a pine, it's better always from the bottom up, so you don't cause damage to the needles. If I don't look at it and I crush a needle, like this one was crushed, where is the camera here? This one was crushed last year, and as you can see, it had a damage there. There was another one that I saw that you may look at banding and think that it's a pathogen, when in fact it is the result of trauma from previous years. Like this one here, for example, if you can see the trauma here. Now there is no indication of sap here, there is no indication of any fungal growth, but when I touch it, I feel that there is that this needle was bent, and so was this at the same position. So instead of thinking that this is a fungal issue, I actually know that this was a mechanical damage last year. So on this one, so I just removed those needles. They are growing in the bottom anyway. So this second year needles will fall next year, and hopefully the tree will be balanced by then. I will leave those second year needles here intact, just because of the strength of these areas. So these are the areas with less density. I will remove some more needles from here. There you go, from the bottom. There you go. Now here we still have 1, 2, 3. I will remove this one here. So we have 2. Doesn't look like I have any more flaws in this tree. I just need to balance now the strength. Here I will not touch anything. I will let it keep growing. But here I will decrease. I will remove some more of the bottom at the bottom. And shorten the size of last year's needles to balance the strength. Still a little bit too much, I think. Let's remove a few more. So we balance the strength between the weaker areas and the stronger areas. We didn't touch this area that will continue growing, the continuation of the trunk line. The sense of scale improved dramatically now. It now has a good chance of growing. So I will get some wire and wire it. As I'm going to wire it again, I will rather remove this wire and reapply it in a different position to not continue exacerbating the biting. Now if I were not going to wire this again, I would leave this wire, because probably this branch will not stay in position yet, and just with the strength and the apical dominance of the tree, this will keep moving up. There will be more division on this branch on the lower side than on the upper side, and it will continue to bend. So I will unwire this on a time lapse and rewire it, and then we'll discuss at the end the result. Stay tuned. So this is it for now. We performed shoot selection, we removed some old needles, we balanced the strength of different areas by the removal of old needles, but we always left some needles in place. Where necessary, we cut the length of old needles just for the purpose of balancing. It's not an aesthetic purpose. So this, obviously, those needles will have brown tips next year and it will not look nice, but they will fall next year anyway, and hopefully we will have achieved our goal of balancing energy, which will therefore in the future not require any more of this cutting of needles. And that's it for now. I hope this was instructive. Here is 360 of the tree for now. I hope it was instructive, and until the next one, bye bye.